Welcome to problem 716 on page 238. In this particular case, what do millennials around the world want in a job? So a lot of you are millennials, and they're looking for stability. 65% prefer a permanent full-time job rather than working freelance or consulting. So 65% of the millennials say that having a stable job is critical to them. And you do a sample of 100. So in this particular case, this has the Excel output, which we'll do an Excel video on this. And so you put in what is the probability that fewer than 70% would prefer permanent full-time work. You calculate in this case, you'll have to calculate the standard deviation and the X value of 70%, and you wind up with 85%, 85.27%. So this might be a lot easier to understand when we do the Excel, especially for part A. So it's just, the answer is 85.27, and we'll use Excel to calculate that. So in part B, what is the probability of the sample between 60 to 70%? You can see the probability range in Excel that is given to you. Again, you're going to have to find out the standard deviation, and I'll show you how to do that. And you should listen to, before you do this problem, you should go to 714, which shows you how to calculate the standard deviation. And it's also on page 238 at the top of your screen for calculating the Z-score, and also the standard deviation calculation was on page 237. So in this case, we're taking a slice between 60 to 70%, and we wind up with 70.55. 60% or less is 14.73 or 0.1473, depending if you want to put it in percentage or decimal. Less than 70% is 0.8527. You subtract the two, so the 0.8527 minus the 0.1473, and you wind up with 0.7055, in other words, 70.55%. In part D, or part C, sorry, got ahead of myself. What is the probability that more than 70% will favor the preferred permanent full-time? So in this particular case, you put in the value of the 0.7, and even though it's the same number of as less than 0.6, it's actually different. You would go 1 minus 0.8527. So what you can see in part B, the 0.8527. So you go 1 minus that, because remember, you want the area to the right, not the area to the left. So almost 15%, 14.73. Here's at the top of the screen in part D is how you find out the standard deviation. So you don't need that for the first four, or it's changed to 400s. Sorry, you do need it for the first three, A, B, and C, but you change the sample size to 400. And once again, you go through and simply change your standard deviation from what you had before. Standard deviation before, if you look at it, or we'll do it in Excel. I'll show you how to do it in Excel. And now the standard deviation is 0.0237. So they didn't show you the common data before, but I will show you how to calculate that in the Excel video. And so it just recalculates the numbers and improves your accuracy, the likelihood of you getting the answer correct.